In this video, you will learn how to apply number formatting, including conditional formatting. In addition, you'll learn how to use word art to put a title on a table and how to use merge and center to put a title on a table. There are several different ways to apply formatting to numbers in Excel, and I'm just going to give you an example of those choices that we have. Now, in the numbers group, we have the icons that will give you formatting. So if I click on the comma style, you can see that what happened here is that it applied 2 decimal places. What these number signs are in the cell means that the cell or the column is too narrow for the contents. So if I went up here and did a best fit by double clicking, you can see that the reason why we have those numbers is because the decimal places made it too small of a column size. So I'm going to show you what we could do here is we could decrease the decimals by clicking that twice, so it took away 2 decimals. Another thing we can do is to apply the accounting number format. If you click there, again, the same thing happened. So we're going to remove the decimals. If I click it once, it removes 1 decimal, twice another. We still have it too small to be in column I, so we would double click that to make it the best fit. Now I want to point out here that the accounting format puts the $ at the far left part of the cell, and so that is one way to put a number sign in. Another way is to use the currency formatting. So I'm going to undo that so you can see that. Okay, so we have a little bit more flexibility if we do the number formatting here. So we're going to go to currency this time, and you can see here that we can determine how many decimal places that we want here. If we want to have a symbol in, I'm going to put a $. Also, whether or not how we want negative numbers to show, and I'm going to click on this one. And so when I change it, notice now if I double click this, that the number sign is right next to the number. All right, now because I want it to be still 2 lines, I'm going to move that over a little bit so that we can have the title on 2 lines. Notice now that our negative numbers have in parentheses and are red. Generally, when you see a table of numbers like this, you only have the $ in the first row and the last row. So we're going to fix that here by just highlighting the middle rows. We're going to have to go back to the number dialog box, and instead of using currency, we'll use number with 0 decimal places, and using the comma separator. And again, we want to make sure that we still have the red for negative with the parentheses. So then it just took off the $ in the middle. Sometimes it's beneficial to show what a series of numbers is telling us just by visually looking at it, and that's what conditional formatting looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the 4-year total cost and click on conditional formatting, and we can do things like using data bars to see what is the most expensive. You can use solid fill. These are different things that you can do. Color scales. I'm going to skip to icon set so that you can see what happens with the the different icons once you put your mouse over the icons. What we're going to do here is we're going to use color scales. Now this one is green, yellow, red color scale, and so the green is giving us the higher amount, and for tuition we want the higher amount to be red. So we're just going to go over to this next one that says red, yellow, green scale, so you can see when I apply that formatting and click out of it, you can see that the cheapest one is the greenest and the more expensive one is the reddest. So at a glance you can see what which are the rankings of the different colleges. On the information tab, we just have a couple things to do with the formatting here for the numbers. And this would just be in these two columns. We're going to want to put, this is not numbers now, these are, you know, we have distance from home, which is in miles, the number of grads is a number. So we're just going to make it so that it is 0 decimal places. And then we want to put the budget per year as, we want to put it as currency and with 0 decimal places. And then we can again best fit that because it widened up. So that's all we do with the information tab. Let's now put a title on our table, and in order to do that we need to merge, to make it centered over the table, we need to merge these cells into one cell. So we click on merge and center and notice that everything is merged there. And we're going to make it a, let's go with title as the cell style, and we'll type in there college information. And if you want to, you can make it bold. Oops, I have to highlight it and make it bold. The other thing that you could do is you could make it heading 1 if you like that better. I'm just going to leave it this way for the title for this table. So the last thing we're going to do is we are going to add a title using word art. Now you recall from a prior video that we added 5 rows. That is to make room for our word art. To get to word art, we click on the Insert tab, and in order for you to see the entire screen I had to move over the spreadsheet, but we need to get to word art in the text group. And then you can select any of these, and you are all able to also change colors if you wanted to. I'm going to choose this one, and now it says your text is here, and we're going to move that. So we're going to grab this text box, making sure that the arrow signs are there, and we're going to move that here. Now in order to make it centered on the table, we need to move it here to stretch it out over the width of the table. We can also use the arrows to move it up. Now this is where you can change your colors if you like to change your colors, if you like. You can change the text outline if you wanted to change the text outline and the weight of the outline. You could change that. You can also change text effects. There's lots of text effects. You could make it beveled. You can make it reflection in many different ways, or glowing. I don't know if 3D rotation really doesn't look good with this one. So you can choose however you want to have your text there. So I'm just going to choose this one, and now I'm going to select my text, select the text, and type the title that I want. And there is our table.